Hi, I'm Gloria. At school, all the girls envied me, and all the guys admired me. I had not only a lovely face, but also a magnificent figure. After all, I had been doing gymnastics since I was a kid. I was also cheer captain. People called me and my two friends, Jessica and Linda, the Magnificent Three. We were the most popular girls in school, and I was their leader, of course. There was a whole stand with my cups and medals in the school hallway. One day, my friends and I were passing by it and saw Fat Molly gaping at my awards. Well, basking in someone else's glory, Molly? Don't worry, not everyone can be as perfect as me. Better eat another cake. My friends laughed meanly and gave me a high five for such a joke. That day, Mrs. Wallace, our PE teacher, came up to me before class and said that a pipe had burst at her house, and she had to leave. She asked the worthiest and most athletic student to replace her so that the lesson could go on. That student was me, obviously. You can always rely on me, Mrs. Wallace. She handed me her whistle and ran away, and I rubbed my palms in anticipation. My classmates wouldn't forget that lesson. After a short warm-up, I decided to have fun and announced that we would have a relay race. I used the whistle and said that I would divide them into teams myself, so I put those I liked in the first team, athletic guys and cheerleaders. And the second team was full of nerds, scrawny guys and fatties. That would be fun. The nerds team was getting trashed, and I was having fun filming it all on my phone. Then the time came for Linda to compete with Molly, but the fat girl was moving too slowly and clumsily that Linda managed to pass her while walking, and even did an impressive somersault in the end. Seeing that, Molly started running faster. She must have wanted to finish the relay with dignity, but instead, she disgraced herself even more. She tripped and crashed into a rack of sports equipment, and all the balls fell on top of her. Everyone roared with laughter. Of course, the nerds team lost, and I was happy to announce the results. But then Molly spoke up. She was indignant that the teams weren't equally strong, and also called me a bad teacher. I had to put her in her place. It's not my problem that you're such unathletic wimps. I'm giving all of you losers a bad mark for today. Thank Molly. All our classmates that had lost got mad at Molly, and my friends liked the video with her clumsy falls so much that it soon went viral, and the whole school was laughing at the girl. I saw that she didn't talk to anyone and often missed classes, and later, she transferred to another school. But I didn't consider it my fault because in life, as in sports, only the strongest survive. One day, after finishing a workout, I left the sports center. The coach informed me that he would soon start preparing me for the Olympic team, so I felt on top of the world. But then some klutz suddenly ruined my mood by running from around a corner, bumping into and pouring coffee over me. Do you know how much this jacket costs? I froze mid-sentence after looking at the guy. He was so handsome. I felt very confused and even stopped being angry. And he just smiled sweetly and asked me for forgiveness. I'm really sorry. Let me take your jacket and return it to you after dry cleaning. By the way, my name is Billy. I couldn't get mad at such a cutie, so I gave him my jacket without hesitation. And Billy, as compensation, offered to treat me at a nearby cafe. I'm quite famished after practice. I didn't waste any time in the cafe and immediately told Billy all the reasons I was awesome, my sports achievements, and the news about the Olympic team. He listened to me with great interest. You know, I used to go to the gym too, but after an injury, I had to stop. After a long break, all my muscles have deflated, and I would like to get my former shape back. So, what's stopping you? Billy sighed and said he was too embarrassed to go to the gym. After all, everyone there remembered him as a muscly guy, and now he's lost shape and was skinny. Billy's story fascinated me so much that I suggested we practice in our school sports hall after classes. As soon as you get back into shape, you can go back to the gym again. He really liked the idea. And the next day, we met after classes in the school gym. As a thank you, he even brought me a milkshake. Thanks again. This is for you. It's perfect for athletes and really refreshing. Delicious. We quickly grew close and spent a lot of time together. Every evening, Billy would meet me after practice with the milkshake I liked and walk me home. And then, finally, it happened. Billy, as usual, saw me off and dared to kiss me goodbye. I was over the moon. The moment couldn't have been more perfect. I spent the whole night replaying that kiss in my mind and only managed to fall asleep in the morning. No wonder I didn't hear the alarm and overslept. That day, we had a very important workout before the basketball game of our school team we were supposed to cheer on. But because of the sleepless night, I was very late and showed up only at the end of the workout. Linda and Jessica were angry and immediately pounced on me. Where have you been? We had a training session without you. We have an important game tomorrow. I had to remind her who was the leader of our Magnificent Three. As the captain of the team, I don't have to report why I was not at practice. Anyway, have you forgotten? I'm the best at turning in the air and you always catch me. Everything will be perfect, as always. The next day, there was a basketball match between the two schools, but it was also a competition between the cheerleading teams. Those who were the most fired up and did the most daring moves would win. The judge called a break, and music started to play. It was our moment. Girls, don't let me down. We performed perfectly, and it was time for the grand finale. My signature turn in the air. Jessica and Linda threw me into the air. I made several turns and was ready to land gracefully in the arms of my friends. However, something went wrong. Not only did they drop me on the floor, but they also fell on top of me. The audience burst into laughter. This is too humiliating. I can't bear it. I burst into tears and ran into the locker room. The commentator hurried to announce the end of the break. Jessica and Linda ran after me, but in the locker room, my tears turned into anger. It was all their fault. You've humiliated me in front of the whole school. You need to practice more. But my friends looked at each other, annoyed, and said that it was not their fault. No offense, but you didn't weigh so much before. We'd need the whole basketball team to catch you now. I was so furious. My friends had not only failed the performance, but also blamed everything on me. Ah, is that how it is? Well, I think you just envy my success in gymnastics. But the nightmare didn't end there. It turned out that someone had filmed my fall and posted it online. The whole school started laughing and mocking me, just like they used to do to Molly. Billy came to see me that evening. He said he had seen my fall and brought a cocktail to cheer me up and returned my jacket from the dry cleaners. Thank you, Billy, you're the best. I immediately decided to put on the jacket, but it didn't fit. The sleeves were too narrow and it seemed to be several sizes too small. Which dry cleaner did you give it to? Just look, they ruined it. I don't think that's the problem, Gloria. Don't even start. I watched my figure and looked great. I was in for another unpleasant surprise at practice. Our coach lined all the gymnasts up and began to weigh everyone before picking them for the Olympic team. When it was my turn, the coach looked at me weirdly. You know, Gloria, you've gained a lot of weight since the last time we did this. You should try weightlifting instead of gymnastics. I couldn't believe my ears. How could he say that? I looked at the scale and was horrified by what I saw. Impossible! I will prove this is all a mistake. I ran up to the bars to make my signature turn, but moving was so hard. I fell and hurt my leg badly. I was examined by a sports doctor and informed that I'd sprained my ankle. I almost fainted from such news. Now I could forget about the competitions or joining the national team for a long time. I realized it was the end of my sports career and couldn't hold back tears when I went to the locker room. And then I heard Billy's voice. That's who would always cheer me up. While listening, I realized he was arguing with someone on the phone. I got curious. I don't want to be a part of this any longer. I took revenge on her, but now I just want to date Gloria and not torment her with those cocktails. What a surprise. I'd never expected such betrayal from Billy. I ran up to him and pressed him against the wall. You must explain everything to me immediately. I wanted to come clean anyway. Billy told me that Molly was his sister. She had begun to withdraw into herself and one day told her parents that she no longer wanted to go to school. Her brother had tried to find out the reason, and Molly had shown him a video of her fall and told him that she was being bullied at school. Billy decided to teach his sister's biggest bully a lesson and started to bring me high-caloric cocktails for jocks. That's how I'd gained muscle mass. I filmed her fall and sent it to my sister to comfort her, but Molly decided to go further and posted the video online. I'm really sorry about what happened. I just wanted to protect my sister. It's going to sound weird, but at that moment, I wasn't mad at Billy or Molly at all. I learned the hard way how tough it was to be publicly made fun of and have your weight pointed out. I decided to talk to Molly and went to her house. I'm sorry, I got a big head and didn't notice how much I was hurting people, but now we're even. I didn't think I'd ever say this, but I forgive you, Gloria. Turns out that deep down, you are actually sweet. The bullying, of course, did not end there. At school, everyone started joking and saying I should start weightlifting and put away my leotard. I was so devastated, I locked myself in my room and didn't even want to see Billy, but he managed to climb through the window to comfort me. I told him about the hurtful jokes, and he happily informed me that he had a great idea. You are in great physical shape, and you don't need to give up sports at all. It's just now that you're not fit for gymnastics, what about weightlifting? You're crazy, I don't even know anything about barbells. Billy laughed and said he was ready to become my personal coach. He hadn't been a jock in a long time, but he still remembered all the techniques. I thought about it and decided it wasn't such a bad idea. Let's keep it a secret. I don't want to be laughed at even more. That's how we started going to the school gym again. Billy turned out to be a great coach, and I quickly figured out the new sport. During one of the training sessions, Billy decided that I was ready for more complex exercises, and he should show me something new. He lifted a heavy kettlebell and immediately grabbed his lower back. His old injury flared up. He dropped the kettlebell, and it fell on his leg. Billy hit the floor and groaned in pain. I was terribly scared and started to call for help, but everyone was studying in classes and no one could hear me. I wanted to examine the bruise like myself, but it seemed like I was just making it worse. After all, Billy was groaning harder. I had to choose between helping Billy and keeping my secret a secret. The old Gloria would have chosen herself without hesitation, but I had realized a lot and changed. I picked Billy up with my strong arms and carried him to the infirmary. I had a faint hope that no one would see us, but as the evil bell rang, my classmates filled the hallways. Everyone laughed at the sight of such a strange couple. I was embarrassed, but wasn't about to leave Billy and kept carrying him to the infirmary. Luckily, he got away with a bruise. The doctor put on a bandage, handed him a cane, and let him go. As for me, there was no longer any point in hiding that I was weightlifting and dating a skinny guy. It was a hot topic at school, and no one missed an opportunity to joke about it. I won't lie, it was very unpleasant, and I even thought about changing schools. However, I suddenly got supported by the last person I expected to do that. Remember when I was staring at your awards? I never envied you. I only admired your perseverance. Don't give up on what you love because of stupid bullies. I want to go back to our school, and maybe you could show me some exercises? Molly's words inspired me, and I decided to try going to a real gym. I was very surprised that no one there mocked me behind my back. On the contrary, there were a lot of athletic and strong girls like me. Very soon, I knew about the exercises as much as Billy and Molly did, so they suggested we film training videos. That's a good idea. We can encourage so many people who are too embarrassed to go to the gym. That's how I found my new vocation and decided to become a qualified instructor in the future. After seeing my progress, my classmates stopped laughing. Some of them even decided to follow my example and started going to the gym. What kind of sport do you like?
This is the SCP Foundation, a secret organization that finds and studies anomalous objects all over the planet. These are the Foundation's secret files. You may already be familiar with them. And these are the stories of ordinary people who got lucky to encounter the most horrifying creatures in the world. The SCP Chronicles reveal new details about the anomalous objects you didn't know before.